you're now comfortable with these 5 buttons. These 5 buttons create your basic products, your female names, male names, the combo, pet, and poem. We're going to discuss the rest of the screen very briefly. Some of the items we will not go into any detail on because they are not part of this current package. They are only doorways for future development, and suggest that you not deal with any of them except what we described to you. This first bar has most of your main options for creating a product. Of course, you know that new is to start a new project. Open is for an advanced layout feature for layout artists. Do not be concerned with this at all, and it'd be safer not to go into it at this time. Build is how we build a product once we have put a name in. As you saw earlier, when we come into the software, it's already ready to do a female name. So if we do that female name and find it, we would then use build to build the product. Now once we have built the product, you'll see that this bar changes. It changes so that some of these items are inactive. As you'll see now, they're inactive because build is not a reasonable option. Of course, new is if we want to start over. Save in its advanced topic, which we'll discuss later. Here are my 3 print buttons. A sample print, a print of text on pre-printed art, or if I have the art on demand libraries that are part of Art Adventures in Art, I can print the art and the text together here. Now, I hope you understand by now the difference between Adventures in Names and Adventures in Art is only the fact that Adventures in Art has a library of art to use for art on demand. So I don't have to have art prints if I don't want to. It also provides capabilities for other products such as signs and tunes, which are products which will be coming in the future. These other buttons are used for advanced layout features, which we'll discuss in the next lesson. So I will now, that I understand this bar, half of it is inactive on one time and not on the other. We'll start new. And our main toolbar, you see, right here at the top, always remains, but when these buttons are not needed, they're not active. Now my next bar we have discussed. These bars here are shortcuts for custom template categories. Some of them are active now, some are for future products. We will discuss them in more advanced lessons in the future. Our product categories are here, which we will discuss along with our language changes. Layout features are for layout artists, so you won't mess with that. The data type will allow us to manually change to male or female, or to pets or poems, as you'll see here. But if we do that manually, we also have to change the template. So this is easier to change here. I'll show you the uses for this in another lesson. Our art box we will discuss in a moment. The search for box, our search button, our greeting and signature lines, the data for the specific name or poem we've looked up, and alternative names. Now let's see how these all fit together in a basic product. Again, at this point I'm going to skip over items that are not needed for us. They're more advanced. So for right now, to do a female name, of course, every time I hit new, it starts out ready for a female name. But let's say that we wanted that name to be in Spanish instead of English. Then I would come to the language box. I would change this to Spanish before I do the search. I want to do this before I do the search, so that the search is for a Spanish "an", not for an English "an". So now I will hit the search button, and it will search for it in Spanish. Now I want you to note, since most of our dealers read English and do not read Spanish, it is shown on this screen in English so that the dealer knows what they have found is correct. But if they build the product is built in Spanish so that it can be printed in Spanish. Now that the product is built, I would now be able to print that product. When I print the product, we'll go one step further and go ahead and press this button, but the print button comes up. and I want to ensure what art print I am putting in. Since this defaults to a for a portrait, but when I'm doing landscape, I need to put this in landscape, and I would then print the product. And then that product would go to my printer and return to the layout screen, which was built for me. I'm going to hit New. Okay, and I'm ready. You'll note that it will stay Spanish until I change it back. That is so that in countries where, such as South America, where they want to do mostly Spanish, once they've changed to Spanish, it will stay there until they change back. Now I want to show you one more thing in using this screen. If I were to choose a combo, for example, it defaults to male, because usually male is first. What if I don't want that? What if I want female first? Then I will manually change this to female and type in the name. I will find the name, and it will tell me to select the second name, and I need to select male if I want it to be a male name on the second one. And it tells me to click the build button to finish. I verified this is the name I want, and I will click build. Now I have a product which is just backwards to most. I have the female first and then the male. Since that's what I wanted, once it has built the product, I will put the art in and hit print text, and it will print this text on the art, and I will click new to start over again.